Hey guys, you're watching Phone Arena's in-depth video review of the BlackBerry Bold 9780, which is the follow-up to the Bold 9700 released from last year. This version that we have is the T-Mobile one, and it sports a $129.99 on contract price. It has some newer hardware and, of course, BlackBerry OS 6. There's really nothing that separates the Bold 9780 from its predecessor just because it's an exact replica in every way, shape, and form. We like the industrial look of the handset. It employs some nice materials such as the metallic bezel with the faux pas leather in the back. It's very compact feeling. It's solidly constructed all around. And overall, it's your tried and true BlackBerry, so you really can't knock on that. Even though we would love to see RIM upgrade the display, it's quite fitting for this type of handset and really can't complain. It measures in at 2.44 inches, it has a resolution of 480 by 360 pixels, and support for 65,000 colors. And for this type of size display, it's pretty decent. It manages to display some really nice looking crisp text. There's a lot of colors, and the viewing angles are pretty good too. We didn't have any issues as far as using it in direct sunlight, and we're happy with the overall performance of it. In terms of physical keyboards, the Bold 9780 represents one of the better handsets out there in the market just because the keys have a real nice tactile response when you press down, even though they're kind of cramped. We definitely like the feel of them, and we didn't have any problem speed typing away. You have your send and end keys, the BlackBerry menu key, the back, and the optical trackpad, which you could change the sensitivity in the settings menu. To the left, you have your left convenience key, which is pretty easy to make out. It has a good solid push to it, the micro USB port, the 3.5mm headset jack. While on the right side, you have the right convenience key, which launches the camera application by default, and the volume rocker, and they all have a really nice rugged feel to them. Finally, on the back, you only have the 5-megapixel autofocus camera with the single LED flash. When you remove the back cover, it's going to give you access to the micro SD card slot, the battery, and the SIM card slot. Naturally, one of the bigger features about the Bold 9780 is that the fact that it's one of the few handsets still in the market that sports the latest version of the platform, OS 6, just like what we saw on the Torch 9800. As you tell, this is the home screen. You have all your different applications, and they're broken down to different categories between all, media, your favorites, and even your downloads. But it does move relatively quick. We didn't have any issues as far as opening up applications, and overall we're pretty satisfied with the speed exhibited by the handset. If you're big on social networking, you'll be happy with the coordinative apps offered by the platform on the Bold 9780. You have the dedicated Facebook application, which allows you to post status messages and even check up on your friends and even post pictures. You have a Twitter client, which allows you to post tweets with geotagging capabilities, and you also have one for MySpace. Yet another category where the Bold 9780 truly excels in has to be the messaging department. In fact, setting up email is not a problem just because the only thing you'll require is just your username and password, and 9 out of 10 times it automatically will set it up. As far as being just a pure text messaging for a messaging phone, it offers a fantastic keyboard which makes it very easy on your thumb to type out long messages. Even though it might not be the best out there, the BlackBerry browser on the 9780 is a huge improvement from what we saw previously on the Bold 9700. It managed to load up our page here fairly quickly, and on top of that, it renders it just like you see it on a desktop. You could just simply zoom into a specific area here, and as you can tell, automatically resizes the text to fit it to the length of the display. And overall, it should provide most people with a reasonable experience for web browsing. The music player in the Bold 9780 has a really nice presentation to it. On top of the usual set of items seen with it, such as the on-screen controls, the track information, even the album covers, you can move about the songs by simply doing this cover flow-like movements with it, which does give it a really nice personalized touch. As far as audio quality, by default, it's a little bit too sharp, especially on the louder setting. But when you go to the options, you can enable equalizer settings and even audio boost to better the overall experience. For outdoor shots taking photos, we're fairly impressed with the Bold 9780's 5-megapixel autofocus camera, as it's able to capture a pretty good amount of detail. It has a really nice sharp look, and on top of that, color reproduction is pretty much dead on. Unfortunately, the reproduction in low lighting conditions or even artificial lighting takes quite a big drop, as there's a lot of noise in low lighting shots, poor detail, and on top of that, colors look a little bit more washed out. Now, even though the Bold 9780 has a maximum video capture resolution of 640 by 480 pixels, we're fairly happy with the overall results. It moves at a speedy rate of 23 frames per second, and the neat thing about it has continuous autofocus so that if an object moves closer to the camera, it automatically will adjust, and for most people, the quality should be more than sufficient. Call quality in the Bold 9780 is mediocre at best, just because on our end, through the earpiece, there is this distinguishable ringing tone that can be heard, especially on the loudest setting. On top of that, voices do sound a little bit distorted. On a caller's end, though, they did state that our voices did sound clear and distinct, and there's no evidence of any noise on their end. When we switch to the speakerphone, it does produce some decent, strong tones, but unfortunately, it does sound a little bit muffled. During our time using the phone, we didn't experience any dropped calls with the handset. On top of that, it managed to retain a good amount of bars, and it didn't fluctuate that much either. Now, if you want a smartphone that's going to offer a pretty good battery life, you want to check out the Bold 9780, just because on normal usage, we managed to get out 3 whole days of using it consistently. So we're pretty satisfied with the results it offers. For light users, you'll probably get by a little bit more, and of course for heavy users, it'll easily last you a day. Sure, it looks exactly like the Bold 9700 from a year ago, but the 9780 exhibits all the things that you love about BlackBerry. It's your tried and true handset with the form factor, the experience, and of course its typical looking design. We're very happy with the overall results we've seen by it. It's a fantastic messaging phone. On top of that, it has some great battery life, and even the OS 6.0 experience on a handset that's not touchscreen is fairly decent, just by our experience. It manages to load up stuff in a very good amount of time and offers all the unique features that you expect out of any other BlackBerry handset. So if you'd like to learn more about the BlackBerry Bold 9780, or for all the latest cell phone reviews, news, specs, and information, you can check us out at phonearena.com.